Hey everybody, this is Steve Krause, and this is English 444 online for winter 2011. There's a little video to introduce the class. I've got a computer monitor over here, so I'm looking at the course over here. And what I'm going to do is just hit a couple of highlights from the schedule and from the syllabus and from the writing assignments, and a little bit about the schedule. Um, if you click over in the schedule, if you click over in the schedule, it gives you some basic information about how to get a hold of me. I'm an 808 Hoyt. There's my email. Email is by far the best way to get a hold of me. Phone numbers, office hours, and that kind of thing. I'm teaching online this semester quite a bit, and so I'm pretty flexible in terms of meeting, either face to face or via Skype or something like that. So let me know if those times don't work out for you. Now, the class is interesting because it's been kind of a changing class over the last couple of years. It's going to be quite a bit different this semester than it has been in the recent past. And there's a shift this semester to this concept of content strategy, which we'll talk about here in a second. But basically, Writing for the World Wide Web is a class where you create websites and you write documents that are designed to appear on the web. And we're going to study various sorts of web-related phenomena such as social media. There are 4 textbooks for the class. There's this one, HTML, XHTML, and CSS from Elizabeth Castro. This is the book that you'll need to use for the exercises on making a web page with XHTML and CSS. It's a pretty straightforward book that's sort of like one of many different books that are out there teaching you how to do those various basic HTML, XHTML skills. This is a book that's brand new to me. Content Strategy for the Web, Christina Halverson. And it's about this concept called content strategy management, which we'll talk about. All the books that we're reading for the term are pretty user-friendly, light reading. So even though there's 4 books, it's not going to hopefully be too intense about that. But there's this book. There's this book, also new to me, Letting Go of the Words, Writing Web Content That Works, from Jenny Reddish. Very easy to read through. Very helpful book in terms of like how it's laid out, and it's a book that's eminently browsable. You'll see what I mean. Excuse me. And last but not least is one of my favorites. This is Clay Shirky's Here Comes Everybody. This is a hardback version. You may get the paperback version. I have to be honest. As of right now, I haven't ordered my textbooks, so you might, if you go to the bookstore, you might not be able to get them. But I will tell you that these books are readily available at places like Amazon and Borders and Barnes and Noble and all those other kind of places. That's where I would order them if I were you, anyways. There's a long section on the syllabus describing the hardware, software, computer experience and its tensions, and I want you to take a moment to read through that. So it's a class that really merges ideas of writing, design, computer science, technology into one class. So there's going to be times in which it doesn't seem so much like a writing class as it seems like a computer class, as it seems like an art class, and that's one of the complications and tensions of the course. The other thing is that while there is no previous experience necessary, and I will help you through all the technological aspects of the course, it should be obvious that people who have previous experience with this stuff have a certain advantage. And if you're someone who has a certain phobia with this stuff, then we're going to have to work together so that you can overcome that. It's unavoidable that in a class called Writing for the World Wide Web, we're going to be doing some stuff that involves coding and uploading stuff and some computer geeky type stuff. The other thing that you need to be aware of is that it is an online course. Now, there will be some times in the course of the semester where we might have a chance to meet face to face, but because it's an online course, there are certain responsibilities that you have. One is that this is the only interface that we have to communicate with each other, and that means that you have to be responsible for your computer working effectively, having adequate internet access, and so forth. And under no circumstances is it acceptable to offer as an excuse for not getting something done that your computer doesn't work or you didn't have access or something like that. So bear that in mind as the semester starts. That's one of the advantages of an online class, is we have a lot of flexibility in terms of time. I'm recording this on Tuesday early evening while I'm cooking dinner. My eyes are burning because I was cutting up onions. It's just driving me nuts. But anyways, that's my schedule. You might be looking at this at Wednesday afternoon while you're at work, or Wednesday night, or who knows. That's the kind of flexibility we get with the online class. That's the positive about it. The negative about it is that it's not a responsibility. So just bear that in mind as we get going. The course is worth 1,000,000 points. You heard me, 1,000,000 points for undergraduates and 1,250,000 points for graduate students. This is how it breaks down. 300,000 points of the class is discussion. For an online class, discussion in the formats on this website that you're at right now is just critical because it really makes the whole class function. If people are participating in a lively fashion, the class works really well. If they're not, it doesn't. Unlike a face-to-face class, the only way that I can know that you're actually participating and engaged in the material of the class is if you actually write posts. So you really do have to write comments about all the material that we're talking about through the course of the term. The second issue is that you need to participate in a timely fashion. You'll notice with the schedule that for the most part, that means you begin a discussion of a reading on a Monday and finish on a Wednesday, begin on a Wednesday and finish on a Friday. What that means is think of Mondays and Wednesdays as your deadline for posting. Because if everybody waits until the Friday to discuss a particular reading or something, well then we're not really going to have a discussion because, we'll be done. The writing assignments for the course are worth 700,000 points. The first is the XHTML CSS exercises, and that will basically teach you the basics of XHTML and CSS. I've gotten to the point in this class where I'm not as concerned as I used to be about you designing really good web pages, but I do think it's important, especially to consider the writerly elements of the web, that you understand conceptually how XHTML and CSS work. So that's what that assignment's about, and that's what the CSS Zen Flowerpot assignment's about. The new assignments for me this semester are the Semester of Social Media project and the Content Strategy Portfolio projects. Now, I have some descriptions here both on the syllabus and up on the website, but I gotta be honest with you, these are assignments that are somewhat moving targets, and hopefully they'll work out. And I'm really needing your involvement and support through the term to make these assignments work. So read through that stuff and we'll see how it goes. Graduate students in the course need to do an extra project, an additional project, because after all, you're taking a 4-level course for graduate credit. And I explained that in the part where it says graduate students. Essentially, you'll be interviewing someone we're reading about, or someone we've read, or someone in the field of computers and writing and this sort of thing, about their thoughts on some of the course material that we're discussing. That assignment will hopefully make sense as we go along. All of the projects for the course will be published. You will publish on your English 444 portfolio, which will be a WordPress.com site. So essentially what that means is you'll need to set up a WordPress.com site, and then you'll post all the stuff there and link to it for me and your classmates to read. You won't be handing anything in per se. In order to pass the course, you have to complete all the major writing projects, regardless of whatever grade you receive in anything else. I always like to point that out. And then the last thing, and again, if you look at the class website, you'll see more details about the writing assignments that we'll be doing through the course of the term, and you can read through those as we go. One thing that's different about writing for the World Wide Web versus most other classes that I teach is that most other classes I teach are linear. That is, one assignment builds on another assignment, builds on another assignment. This class is, ironically enough, like a web, in that all these assignments are kind of going on all the way simultaneously. It's my web gesture. So I'm laid out all the major assignments for the course, and there's a schedule to handling them. But keep in mind that we'll be working especially on the social media project and the content strategy assignment throughout the term. The same goes for graduate students who are working on their interview projects. In other words, you're going to have to be engaged in these assignments, a lot of these assignments simultaneously as the semester goes along. Something to keep in mind because it's a little bit different from a lot of other classes. One last thing I'll mention for now in this introductory video is the schedule. The schedule, because I'm trying so many different things new this semester as I am recording this video, is a work in progress. And there certainly will be changes to it. But there's enough there, especially for the first couple of weeks, to get you going. And once we actually start getting going with the class and I start posting stuff on this website, hopefully you'll get the hang of it. Okay, hopefully that's a introduction to get yourself going. Welcome to English 444 Online, and as I like to say these things, I'll see you online.